because, don't worry, the other one was definitely real. You were here to be a crisis actor for this one because it was a drill, but the other bomb was real. You look at the fact that like the tent like never really saw anyone. There's so many things to like rabbit holes to go down, and so much evidence to suggest that like the whole thing was total bullshit.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I mean, maybe the police chief could be on it, but it's literally the Boston police chief saying this happened for real, and the FBI, which obviously I'm saying, it could be like if you're trying to say it's a false flag, but then how do you also convince all those hundreds of people out there that they're not part of a staged event? Because that's like 200-300 people on the
That's
sidewalk.
what I'm saying. Most people thought it was real.
No, but how do you convince all those people?
Real.
They thought it was real. So you're trying to tell me they were part of there was really actual people there seeing an event, an actual real event, and then they faked and they staged a bombing at a real event involving like 200 or 300 people on the street, and they're all keeping that a secret. All 300 people, 400 people.
Well, like I said, it was very few crisis actors. There was like I'm not saying it was CG. I mean, there was absolutely a pyrotechnics display and windows blew out, which is another thing. If there's a bomb outside of a window, the glass does not blow out into the street. The glass blows into the building. Like that's how bombs and explosions work. But if you look at all the pictures, all the glass blew outward, despite the bomb being outside.
No, I don't understand that again. What I'm saying.
So, and like I said, the few people that were involved, the crisis actors, the one with what is it, Minaj? I always forget the name. It's not Minaj, but you know what I'm talking about. Someone does.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
The fake things that they do for crisis drills.
Yeah.
There were a few people in the mix, and then they were told you have to keep this secret because there were 2 bombs that went off, and they said the other one was real. But if we say this one was fake, they won't believe that both were real. So it's like they had 2 groups of people.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, what about that 300 or 400 people who were on the sidewalk that were all there? They all were not aware they were part of a drill.
Well, it wasn't that many, and also they don't. How do they know what a bomb is? They experienced a lot of smoke and glass breaking.
A flash and a bang.
Boston bombing was a hoax.
Absolutely.
And Freemason is the Goyim's version of Judaism.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's all real.
No, ugly Jew. That's just that one is like. I mean, I'm all for false flags, but man, the Boston bombing one, that's like really hard.
Yeah, that's why I really like that one, because that one's not on a lot of people's radars.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man.
It's my favorite bombing.
That is a hard one, bro.
All right, dude, Rod, DM me,
dude,
just for you, I'm gonna cover that shit on a show like within the next 2 weeks, and DM me, and I'll tell you when I'm gonna cover it, and I'll go over the pictures. I'll go over the pictures, the frame by frames, the news coverage. I'll do it all, and I will convince you. I promise you, I will convince you.
Oh boy!
Can you do one on Sandy Hook too, when they showed up before anyone even evacuated the building?
No, I'm not doing Sandy Hook.
Not a single person died in the
I'm not touching Sandy Hook. That's a career ender.
Really?
I'm not fucking touching that shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no, we could still do Sandy Hook, because again, there was actually a retired Florida state trooper. He actually investigated Sandy Hook, and he was saying himself in his reports, on the YouTube reports, I saw it like about a year or 2 ago, that retired Florida state trooper was saying that he could not find anyone to admit that Sandy Hook happened. He said he couldn't find. He said the retired police officer was saying that he couldn't even find the graves of the children that died. Where are the children's graves then? If 20-something kids died, it should be at least 26, 22 graves. Most graves are open to the public. You just walk up there. Then you could take a picture of the child's grave and then show it to the public. Like, listen, kids died. Okay. Take 22 pictures of 22 graves.
Okay. The kids performed at the Super Bowl 6 weeks after they were shot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So
something's going on.
I mean, it's not remarkable. Like all the extra stuff, they're literally alive 6 weeks after they were shot. and no one, not a single person was shot at the Super Bowl.
But like, exactly, Post, and what I'm saying, Post, is that if the Sandy Hook did happen, then why can no one find their graves? The graves don't exist. Where are all the other teachers that were on duty that day at the school? Where's the principal?
Right, where are the bodies of the gas chambers and all that?
There wasn't just one teacher on duty, because I know they said one teacher died.
Yeah, but what about the cop that didn't go in or whatever?
Wait, that's Parkland.
There a cop?
You're talking about Parkland, I think. You're mixing them up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, Parkland is different. Yeah, that's different. That's Parkland. Yeah, but for the Sandy Hook thing, that is there's like multiple layers of problems. You can't find any children's graves. You can't find the principal who was on duty that day. You can't find the other teachers. There wasn't just one teacher at that school. There was a whole It was a whole fully staffed school with other teachers. No one's even seen who are these people? Where did they go? And a retired Florida State trooper can't find him. He's a private investigator, so he knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. So why doesn't the Sandy Hook release the pay stubs that day of everybody who's paid that day that was on duty at the school, because that's a public document. Pay stubs.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna say, it doesn't even. I don't even think the school was open. I mean,
exactly.
They demolished the houses like right after it happened, so that no one really could look into it. It's all nonsense. My only point was, I don't disagree with you. My only point was, I'm not trying to lose my career for one day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to throw myself on that sword, because, like I said, the freaking it's not me. I'm quoting an actual retired state trooper who did his own private investigation. I'm quoting him, and everything he said made sense. Like, again, he said he tried to go to the local cemeteries. He couldn't find children's graves that died from the Sandy Hook. He couldn't find the principal that was on duty the day. At least the principal. Where's the damn principal? The man who's in charge, of the woman who's in charge of the school. No one has ever seen that person. The whole staff, the whole Sandy Hook staff just disappeared. Not one staff member in that school has come forward to the cameras to tell them, like, yeah, this is what happened. All you saw was like the kids' parents being like, oh, I lost my child and my child died. I'm like, okay, that's nice. Where's the teachers and the people that were on duty that day? Not everyone died in the school. Where are the rest of the teachers?
We know. There's a Challenger disaster, and all these astronauts who allegedly got blown to smithereens in 1984 are currently like professors at Harvard University and in Yale and other universities. Meanwhile, we're meant to believe that we can have gas pressure in a vacuum, and that we're spinning at 66,600 miles an hour, and that space is real, and that aliens could contact, and that there's a space force and all this stuff.
Space is real. What do you think about the moon?
Yeah, not to mention Challenger. Like,
space isn't
three of them are quote unquote identical twins.
And
the odds of that are basically impossible. To have a group of the Challenger and have three of them happen to have identical twins, the odds of that are nearly impossible.
Can I throw something?
You really want to talk about that post? Do we need to give Post a minute to talk about this?
It's all real. Yes, please. I don't want to go into the gas chambers. We already know it's all. Let's not beat a dead horse. As regards to outer space, thermodynamically, you can't have gas pressure adjacent to a vacuum. You're never going to poke a hole.
Centrifugal force pulling everything outward from spinning.
Okay. If you poke a hole in a propane tank, it's always going to go out into the lower pressure system. You can't. So we're meant to. No, gravity doesn't hold gas down against a lower pressure system. So it's just the whole cosmology is nonsensical.
The knowledge of the world will be made foolishness.
Remember what happened with the Columbia shuttle? Post? Remember what happened to Columbia?
Oh, I don't know anything about Columbia.
I think the Columbia is the one that, remember, it broke upon re-entry. I believe it was Columbia. Upon re-entry, it broke up in the atmosphere. Remember?
I'm only like 29.
Okay, so yeah, shit, man. Man, I feel old then. But anyway, but there was a shuttle. The Columbia shuttle was hit by some kind of debris years ago.
Oh, on re-entry? On re-entry?
No, on launch. Remember Columbia when they launched off Columbia was
The one that
gone.
had the teacher in it. The one that had the teacher in
Tile
it.
Not
fell
the
off
teacher.
and
That was
ripped
challenging.
apart.
Oh, this one was missing a piece of insulating surface.
Yes, the foam. Yeah, exactly. So the foam, a piece of foam hit the wing, and NASA knew with their high HD cameras knew that the wing got hit by a piece of styrofoam, which upon them saying that, at the speeds that the shuttle was launching up into space, that the styrofoam piece turned into a piece like a freaking pretty much a solid rock. So
NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, and also to
Right.
cause
Yeah.
yeah,
I
of
death.
mean,
course.
there's just details on a story that ultimately
That's
isn't
not
real
true,
because there's no
by the
such
way.
thing as outer space.
It is
Nun Shin
H5377.
Aleph. It's Nisha. Yeah, it's real.
That's
What's
not-
your take on the tree?
But either way, like I said, so NASA knew that the I think it was the left wing that
NASA
got
knew it
hit.
was fake.
Yeah, it was fake. Yeah, yeah. But let me finish
I
the
mean,
story.
it's like
So yeah, so they knew that that piece of styrofoam hit the wing and they got up into space. So they knew the whole
non-existent
time.
space.
What was that?
A non-existent place. It's just details
Yeah.
on a story that isn't real.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to finish the story about allegedly what happened here. But either way, the styrofoam piece hit the wing, and so they go up into space, and NASA is debating whether they should bother to worry about the wing. So they didn't even have the astronauts go inspect that wing that got hit by a piece of styrofoam to see if it was damaged, because upon reentry, if the wing is subjected to higher temperatures than other places, even a little small damage to the wing could let massive amounts of whatever atmosphere, plasma into the wing. So NASA never even told the astronauts anything, and they let them re-enter Earth's atmosphere, knowing there was a possibility of a damaged wing, and they let them die and burn up in the Earth's atmosphere.
And in reality,
I'm surprised
zero
no one
people
remembers
died
that.
because it didn't
I
happen.
do remember. I do remember it, bro. And I remember exactly because they just had a documentary a few months ago about the actual one where the tile fell off and it blew up and it was when I was in school. They wheeled a TV into the room and they're like, "Here, let's watch the shuttle," and it freaking blew up in front of all of us. But that documentary, I didn't know if you guys were saying that was real because it interviewed the parents and everything, the wives and stuff, and it looked pretty real to me.
Well, yeah, this was the shuttle that was coming in re-entry. That's the one you
Yeah,
talking
I know,
about, right?
brother. I know, brother.
Yeah,
I
the
know.
re-entry one. Okay, all right. So
Re-entry
so
from
they pretty much, if this is what really happened, NASA intentionally murdered the astronauts so they wouldn't send another shuttle out in space and waste money to save their lives, because they said it would cost about $700 million to turn on another
Yeah, it was
shuttle.
big propaganda with Reagan, and they had to cover it up on the other one, the big one. And they knew about the problem with when it was getting cold, that the fuel cells or whatever, those tiles, they knew about it already. There was a whole congressional interview or whatever that's called where they ask them questions.
Hey guys. I got some really awesome stuff about this whole false flag pretend hoax stuff. There's a energy grid on the surface of the Earth called ley lines, and it's from 40 plus 8's time before the flood of the Nephilim, where there's like megalithic stones that create this energy flow. And right where CERN is, the Hadron Collider, there's like 12 different ley lines that converge, and also right over the Pentagon there's five of them. And just along where 9/11, Sandy Hook, and Boston bombing, and that fag club down in Florida, all these false flag events, they're happening right along these weird ley line energy grids.
Yeah, electricity is
ley
free.
line energy grid.
What happened to the chat? Hold on, let me check.
Electricity is free. It just comes from the power lines.
Yeah, I got hit by electricity or by lightning. That building I was on, I had to
Yeah,
go to the hospital.
exactly. Yeah, so we're meant to believe that somewhere in like the 18th century, some guy started digging a hole and then found molten dinosaur underground. But that doesn't make any sense, especially when all free-flowing electricity and powerful electric discharge that anyone had ever seen up to that point had come from the sky. And if you put something conductive high up in the sky, you're tapping into the potential difference between the charge of the sky and ground. And potential difference is what generates current. So you can run current to capacitance, which is what they do, and that's how you get electricity.
I think it will come back down
It comes from these
before it
tall
tests
towers.
that
Doesn't
out.
come from nuclear power plants or all this
Probably
other
gonna come
nonsense
back
that they
down,
make up.
test
They
his
just blow
mind
smoke.
before it comes back up.
Not to
So
mention,
wait,
CO2 is plant food, and plants eat it and turn it into oxygen. And the
Well,
more CO2 there is, the faster plants grow. I mean, it's
but
literally a supplement for indoor gardens.
Nikola
I've got a
Tesla's
question for
power. It's flat.
Copernicus.
There's no outer space. Electricity is free. There are no gas chambers. It's that simple.
Well, Nikola Tesla
Copernicus.
the tower. Nikola Tesla proved all that.
What were you gonna say, Kelda?
I was gonna ask Copernicus, like why? Like,
Why isn't space real?
yeah, no, but like, why are we having this shit hidden from us? Like all this Tesla knowledge and like electricity being free and all that shit. Like,
2 reasons. One, if the Earth is not a spinning ball going around the sun for no reason, it means that we're in a created system for a particular reason. And if if energy isn't a finite resource derived from some sort of material that only special people with special equipment can dig up, that's made in an age that biblically didn't exist, then everyone's life and worldview is dependent upon the producers of this energy and this industrialism. We are the people who created the educational system, the Rockefellers, these Warburgs, these Rothschilds who created all this stuff in the early 20th century. And so, Alexander Graham Bell, General Electric, all these people, they want to control our minds, drive us into a godless way of thinking, and then just rape us financially, spiritually, and morally. So we never believe that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who died for our sins. We think they were cavemen and trannies, and we cut our dicks off and all that stuff.
okay.
That was a good point. That was actually a good philosophy of that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like Copernicus is saying, I was thinking about the same thing, that it's a high possibility that power may be 100% free. That, like what Tesla was talking about 100 years ago, and the reason why the reason they want us to pay for the power is because they don't want us to have it for free, because they want us to pay for everything. They want us to have.
You know where the lightning came from that hit me?
Where?
It came freaking. There was no lightning bolt. It was in a hailstorm. There's friction in the air. There's lightning in the air.
So that's what I was trying to get to. My point is that Tesla was onto something about, because you know how the white snow on the TV, right, that we see. They're saying, from what from what I've read I've read a few articles about a few months ago about this issue, is that if we're seeing that white snow on that TV, that means we're surrounded by energy. Yeah. And the television is telling you right there, through white snow, white noise, whatever you want to call it, that we're actually surrounded by power, and we're not using the power that's available to us that's in the air. Instead of it, we're being forced to pay for it through an electricity wire from a building far away.
Every organic thing that moves is creating static electricity, and as soon as it touches the ground, it discharges it. That's part of the deal with like rubber conductive barriers in your shoes. But literally, trees swaying in the wind are conducting electricity and discharging it into the air.
You know when that lightning blew off, when it went off? Do you realize that I happened to make the connection between this humongous roof? I was building a horse arena. It was probably 160 feet long. It was huge. Anyways, and as soon as I got off, I was trying to get my lanyard off, which keeps me from falling off the roof. And as soon as I touched connection between the ladder, which was in a big, huge puddle, and the roof, the whole thing turned blue. Boom!
Do you know?
Believe it.
Do you know Nikola Tesla? Yeah, obviously he invented that tower, didn't he? The Tesla coil. they've actually just declassified and released the patent for a free energy device. They've just released the patent for that, which is similar to what Nikola Tesla designed a long time ago. You might want to go check that out. It's pretty cool.
A simple example of a Tesla tower that people, you're in England, I take it. So so I'm taking you've heard of like Blackpool Tower and the Blackpool illuminations.
Oh,
so there's saying gaslighting. So there's gaslighting in Blackpool, right? And then they built the Blackpool Tower. Then suddenly you had electrical lighting. Same thing with Paris and the Eiffel Tower. And these towers, these tall spires, are where they generate the electricity. If you go into the sky, you generate current, like because the sky is positively charged. Just build a tower, create a conducting wire. It's not as complicated as like you need like some Czechoslovakian genius scientist. It's literally just put an electrical tower in the sky.
The further up you go, the higher the charge.
Do you know? Have you heard of like
guys, sorry. I'm just gonna jump in real quick. I'm gonna be closing up the chat in about 3 minutes, just on the hour. So
33 minutes.
No. Honey?
I was just saying, do you know? Have you heard of 0 point energy?
Dude, I've literally been at this for like, in total, probably about 7 or 8 hours today, plus a full day of work.
Thanks for your endurance, Calder.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Calder.
Have you heard of 0 point energy?
Calder's a champ.
No, nothing.
Yeah, I've investigated all that stuff, bro. The the Tesla, I know all about it, brother. It's totally believable.
Yeah, 0 point energy is literally just like the atmosphere, like everything around you. 0 point energy, like you can have a small device in your house.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, Scott. I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling. Saying to everybody. Can you hear me, Scott?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I was saying that your television is telling you the truth, and it's been in our faces for since we've known to the end of time. Is that white noise? White noise on the television. That is the actual electrical power that's being generated, and it's all around us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I still couldn't believe it to this day until I read about it. I wish I could find the article, but I couldn't believe it the truth has been in front of us right before our eyes the whole time. And also, a retired Air Force general, his name is General Quast. He said that we're gonna have the ability to charge our phones. Will be always charged at all times. We're not gonna need to plug them into the walls anymore. Our cell phones.
Amazing.
That should be wicked.
Chat.
Yeah, it will actually be really cool.
Well, this was an epic chat tonight. I seriously had a pleasure. Sorry if I sounded like I was instigating. I wasn't. I was just playing and laughing. The guy on the top there, N7, is awesome. Cracked me up. But beautiful blast tonight. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys. It's been a good chat tonight. So check back in a few hours.
Yeah.
We'll have the chat open again on Wednesday in the morning, and there'll be some ad hoc stuff in between now and then anyway. So have a fabulous night, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
I'm going to bed, so good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pet a kangaroo.
That chat was lit. Oh my god. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Nope. All the Euro pairs are interesting right now. What's going on? Gotta pay close attention to these motherfuckers. Is this done? I don't think this is done. Nope. Might bounce off of the mayo and come right back down. Come right back down. Let's see what can we find. There's nothing on the charts tonight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Nothing interesting in the charts. Nothing that I see that I like. Nothing I see that I like. Maybe I should go do some. Try to like a video or something. Let me see.
Every day is a new opportunity to change your life.
How hard are you willing to work? How much do you want to grow?
There is one thing you need to succeed: motivation. Every day is a new opportunity to make your life a better place to live in.
Today I want you to look in the mirror and see yourself. Look yourself in the eyes and see yourself as a warrior.
Make decisions that will affect your life, affect your future. So now think, what is your purpose to change, to improve? Picture it, your life is at stake. Think right now what you've done differently from the things you did yesterday.
See yourself as the predator, a lion.
You will make it. You need the drive. You have the potential to make it past your fears and your boundaries.
Success can only occur if you put in the work. If your progress comes first, this power can take you towards a life more than normal, more than worthy, because you're more than worthy. You have this power to become something better, better than ordinary.
Perhaps you got up an hour earlier. Maybe you meditated or you went to the gym. Change. You're better than you were yesterday because you know that today and the day after that you will make progress. You will know that you put in the work, that you earned the improvement.
Your progress never stops because the show always will go on. With or without you, life still continues. The world spins and time still passes. This is the time. Now is the time. So who are you willing to embody? You gonna be weak like a lamb, or you gonna be powerful like the lion I described to you?
You need to push yourself so you feel the satisfaction that you've made further and further past your original routine, further and further past your failure.
In reality, you are your only limit.
If your life is easy, then you're living in the wrong environment. You're permanently ruining your future. You're halting your progress. Life is made not to be easy. Not one's life is ever easy.
This is your opportunity. An opportunity to be the person that you need to be, to become someone successful and to make progress. Make the decision now before it's too late, before the opportunity is already wasted. This, in the mind, is where it all begins.
There is nothing else you can do but work. You can make this your time. You can take control of the life you want to live. Have the authority to know what you need to change.
This is where you can properly transform into the person you never thought you could be.
To work harder and harder. The struggle is the only way you know you're going to succeed. Take this new opportunity and make this change in your life. You will be better.
This can be your reality. This can be your future. But you gotta want it to happen.
Take this risk. Take this opening. This is the time to make your life a better place, to make your future a place where you can see yourself achieving, a future where your life is somewhere where you can create your own empire.
So work day in, work day out, put in the time. See the progress you've made and see how far that gets you, because it's going to take you far. This is where it all starts. Now you can finally succeed. So take today as the opportunity it is and seize it.
You need this to drive yourself into the next level. You have it. You need it. Take that image. That image will define you.
Your respect is worth something. It's worth your future, and it's worth the discipline. This opening that you have is so special, so take it. Turn around and see the other side of your story. See the page where you're the star, where you have the power and success you've dreamed of having. Imagine that future.
Make your life hard. Difficult situations force you to make improvements, force you to learn, to educate yourself. Prove this to yourself. Make others jealous. Make yourself jealous.
Use this potential to drag you towards the next level. This is the level where things can really change for you, where your life can properly become something, where you can watch yourself succeed.
No one can do it for you. Only you and just you can make this transition.
Respect your journey, and soon you'll see how much progress you can and will make. You'll feel the satisfaction of living in a world where you've made it past your fears, and where you've moved towards a future worth the time, the work, and the effort that you've put in.
You work. Your progress is more important than anything. Stop sabotaging your life, your future, because you have the potential to make it past your fears, past your insecurities. Change your perspective on goals, on achievements. Change your mindset on the progress you're making. Change your mindset on the way you see your routine and how that affects your life.
Are you looking for success? Are you on that journey to success already? Do you know what path you're even on? There's only one way to know if someone's holding you back. If there are limits, know that that means you're making progress, because you know that you're working for it. You're gonna know when you're where you need to be because you've been working for it. Limits shouldn't set you back. You need the struggle in order to succeed. You have the power to push past the struggle, push past the limits, and to learn from them, and to learn from yourself in the process.
Your future starts now. Your life starts now. Your journey starts here. You get what you work for, not what you wish for. Think about what you want, what you need, what drives you towards success. Have you always wanted it? So what are you doing about it? How are you changing? How are you making progress? If you're doing nothing, then how are you expected to even make a touch of progress? Stop wishing for something to happen, because it never will. You need to work harder and harder. This will be the only way to drive yourself forward. Open your mind to new opportunities, to new possibilities, to new achievements. Your future is in your hands, and your hands only.
You're on the right path. You're taking the journey, so you're immediately on the right path. All you need to do now is keep taking the next step. Embrace the mistakes and embrace these challenges. Make this your time to make your life somewhere that you find is worth living.
Learn to fend for yourself. Learn to succeed for just yourself. Want what you don't have, and work for what you don't have. Take your drive along with you and motivate your life in the position you've always wanted it to be in. You are better than the desire to change. You have the potential, the energy, the momentum to change. Force yourself to make progress, to achieve, to be stronger, to grow. Take care of your successes. Take care of your well-being and become the person you admire. Don't give up. Don't be that person, the person who escaped every fear, every setback. You're not that person. Grasp this opening. Grasp this opportunity. Make that opportunity a part of you. Be yourself. Make this your moment, and you and only you, because you have the potential to change.
Build your empire. Build your empire into something constructed of your mistakes, and then watch yourself rise above them. Because limits shouldn't make you any less of a person than you want to be. You're more than your mistakes, and you're even more than your successes. You need to be you. Limits, struggles, failures, and successes and all, in order to take that path to make your life a better place.
When that alarm clock goes off, there's at least 50% of the time where you just, that soft little pillow is just caressing your head and you want to stay there. And it takes discipline to go, nope, I'm going to get up out of this bed and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do.
We all average probably about 5 hours of sleep.
Work hard, sleep less.
Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off and you start feeling all the excuses that come in, and that bed is cozy. I know what you're saying. I love my bed too. And you then go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up.
That discipline that you have at that moment, you win that fight. That's a big victory. And then that pattern will carry out throughout the day, because once you're up, well, now that I'm up, I might as well go work out because I'm already up and I feel good that I got up out of bed and I won that battle. Let me go win another battle. I'm gonna go get it done. And that discipline carries on throughout the day. So now you take that and you expand that out over a week and a month, and you end up with more discipline. And it starts with that simple act of getting up and getting out of bed in the morning.
I work out twice before everyone wakes up. So it started off 4 o'clock in the morning where I'd start with my cardio, then I'd have breakfast, and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd go to work.
And I wake up at 4:30 in the morning because no one else is awake yet. So that gives me the opportunity to do things that I need to get done kind of selfishly for myself. And the big one in that category is working out. And it doesn't feel good at 4:30 when you get up, but by the time 7 o'clock rolls around and you've already worked out and you've already gotten some work done, and you've got some time to say goodbye to your kids before they go to school, it's infinitely better than sleeping in until 6:45 and you get out of bed and now you missed your kids going to school or whatever. You're not prepared for the day. It's awful. Wake up at the same time every day. And if you pick that time and you start waking up at the same time every day, that's very good for you. It doesn't have to be 4:30. It could be 6:30. It could be 7. I don't know what your personal schedule is. Find out a time, pick it, set it, stick to it.
Look, everyone has a problem with time, but the day has 24 hours and we sleep 6. Now I know there's some out there that say, whoa, I need 8. Well, I say just sleep a little faster, because the bottom line is we have 6 hours of sleep, 24 hours are available, so you have 18 hours now available to your work, your family, your hobbies, and also to learn something new or to do something new, which could easily be that you want to learn a new language, to read a book every week, or you say, I'm gonna go and reshape my body. So you're gonna go and take this hour out of your schedule and say, I'm gonna train an hour every day. So this is, for most people, a huge challenge, but it is totally doable, I can tell them, because the kind of things that I did when I came to this country. I mean, I went to school, I was working in construction, I was working out my 5 hours a day, I was taking acting classes from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight. I was doing all of those things. I wanted to make sure that out of the 24 hours of the day, that I don't waste one single hour. Those hours were too precious. And so there I just want to tell people, don't give me this thing, I have a difficult time with the time and I don't have time for this and I don't have that. You have time, you make the time.
Sometimes, even if you're the most highly motivated person in the world, that grind starts to beat you down a little bit. And that's when you have to stop looking at the short-term thing, because that's not getting you to get it done. And you gotta look, okay, what is the long-term goal that I'm looking at? What am I really trying to get done in the long term? And you say, oh, you know what? I'm actually waking up today early so I can be ahead of the curve, so I can sell more of these widgets or whatever, so that I can buy a house. And you know what? Today matters. Today matters. This decision that I'm making right now is that first step. It's me taking one stroke, swimming in the right direction, heading towards the shore. And if I don't take this, I'm not making any progress.
I'd been struggling. We still had all the same problems. I We still had a lien on the house, still facing bankruptcy, still fighting like crazy. I was still unemployed. The next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there, and for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. I couldn't believe it, and I thought, wait a minute. Counting backwards? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, the next morning I used it again, and it worked. The next morning I used it again, and it worked. The next morning I used it again, and it worked. And then I started to notice something really interesting. There were moments all day long, just like that 5-second moment in bed, where I knew, knowledge, what I should do. And if I didn't move within 5 seconds, my brain would step in and talk me out of it. Every human being has a 5-second window, might even be shorter for you. You have about a 5-second window in which you can move from idea to action before your brain kicks into full gear and sabotages any change in behavior. Because remember, your brain is wired to stop you from doing things that are uncomfortable or uncertain or scary. It's your job to learn how to move from those ideas that could change everything into acting on them in the smallest moment.
So how do you make it? How do you overcome the odds?
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell.
Or you could be like me. Dream of pro football, get hurt, dream over. Find yourself with just $7 in your pocket. So how did I get here? By being the hardest worker in the room.
Now it's time to see who has a heart. Now is the time to prove to yourselves and prove to everyone out there you are somebody. You are worthy of something. And you're able to do something special that no one else in the world can do. Are you ready to go out there and take what's yours? Yeah! What you worked hard for? Yeah!
All of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. We all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds, and they get mad at themselves. They beat themselves up about it. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should. That's what makes human beings succeed.
Ego is the success inhibitor. You have to do your best not to make decisions based off of ego for sure.
Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second. Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. And so, that second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground. In that second. And in every second. Every second counts. So, make every second count.
The dream shattered, sent home with $7 in my pocket. I was like, wait, no, I gotta play in the NFL eventually. Those are my big goals. That's my dream. You realize that playing in the NFL was the best thing that never happened because it got me here. So my point is, look, you're gonna get your ass kicked. We're gonna get the shit kicked out of us. You gotta get up. You gotta have faith that the one thing you wanted to happen oftentimes is the best thing that never happened. So have faith and just keep that in mind and keep plugging away.
It's another early morning. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life.
Done today. No one cares what you did yesterday. You gotta change your dialogue. Yeah, I used to be mentality doesn't work. What have you done today to better yourself?
Today's another day. Today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get active again. Make the right decision.
Well, some of you read that I think about when it's hot outside, that it's sunny and 70. Well, it's fucking not today. It's the reality. It's about 90 degrees and 100% humidity. But who gives a shit? That being said, September 3rd, I have to have my book turned in. And what I realized, I'm reading this book a lot, but I realized I wasn't born this motherfucker. I made him. At the bottom of insecurities, fear, self-doubt, lies, was me buried in the fucking fetal position. How I got out of that was recognizing it, being honest with it, being truthful with it, and then fixing it. We like to live on social media with lies about ourselves, how great we are. Get to the source and fix the problem. I'm a big believer in doing something that sucks every single day of your life. I believe it's a key component into strengthening your mind. Every day you're trying to find more of what you're capable of. And that's the big question. What are you capable of? Stop doing the things that you do every day. You run every day, go swim. Flipping a towel, one tire for a mile. You'll definitely build something. So, I'm all about cows in the mind. Do something that sucks. twisted. It's not about flipping tires. I'm in Las Vegas right now and it's hot as shit. It's not about any of that. But what it is about is a lot of us give total control to life. We don't have any control of it. We just give all control to life. I do this shit every morning to prepare my mind for what life's gonna throw at me. A healthy body gives you a healthy mind. That's what it's about.
So I just got back from a long run, and what I realized for myself and for a lot of people is that life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self. So there's tricks to all this crap in life. Life is one big head game. One trick in this situation is all you want to run. So when I do, I figure out something. Just gonna go out for an easy 6 or 7. What that did to my brain was it said, okay, mediocrity thought it won. So it let loose a little bit. It let go of that, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be okay, it's not too bad. The second you get to mile 2, guess what happens? Greatness pulls mediocrity in the fucking mud. Get out there and get after it.
You wanna go in about the right mindset, the right gear. In combat, you wear body armor. But what we do wrong is we don't strengthen our minds. You gotta strengthen your mind, take control of that. So then when you get out in the real world and they fuck you up, you got protection. So I'm about 15 miles from home. I often talk about taking souls. This morning, this person, I usually train alone. This person wanted to run with me. And I said, fine, we'll run 15. This morning comes, there's storms coming in this way, and the person calls and said, hey, why don't we do it tomorrow? Taking souls is when I told the motherfucker, I'm gonna run 15 today, and I'll run with you again tomorrow. That's what taking souls is about. Don't worry about the elements and what's going on. You gotta get out there and get it. He wasn't the only one that thought about taking the day off, because the storm is coming in right now, and there's not a soul out here but me. If you want to get better, do the shit that no one else wants to do. Do the shit that no one else is even thinking about doing. At the end of the day, hard work may not be enough. You still may fail. Just stay at it and go at it. The more things you can do, get outside that zone. That zone is that zone that makes you feel good. The stronger your mind's gonna get. It starts getting used to doing shit like this. It's not fun. My mind's used to it.
When you crawl out from underneath the covers every morning and you sit on the edge of the bed, you have a choice before you.
We're wired differently. We have to set a goal that if we hit that goal, we're guaranteed to make sure all that other stuff in the middle is going to happen. Why 3 o'clock in the morning? Why don't you sleep? My appetite. My appetite. I say, E.T., I want more. I can do more. If I accomplish this without a father, if I accomplish this with my mom being a teenage mom, if I accomplish this as a high school dropout, if I can accomplish these things from this start, now that I'm at this place, knowing what I know now, what can I accomplish? And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about more than just what you're going to do financially, more than what you're going to do in this industry in the next 3 years, right? More than that. What's your appetite? What are you going to do that will ensure that when the alarm clock goes off, that you're already up 10, 20 minutes before your alarm clock goes up? Why?
Do the work. Do the fucking work.
You've heard me say it before. No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. Listen to me. No alarm clock needed. I can. I will. I must.
Sometimes the only way to go about doing the work is get fucking raw and get fucking intense. Get angry and aggressive and make it fucking happen for yourself. You start today. I don't care when your life clock started ticking. You can start fucking right now today. If it's 4:15 a.m. in my world, and you're on the East Coast and it's 6:15 a.m. and you're already up and you're already dragging ass, by 6:16, you can change your fucking perspective of the world and of your life. My advice, fucking do it. Dig fucking deep and get it done. Do the work of your life.
No alarm. I haven't used an alarm clock in over 20 years. What is it? Internally, Eric, I want to be successful. I want to execute. I want to make all my dreams become a reality. I want to do everything I said I'm going to do. So my appetite increases. It gets stronger every year. I want more every year. I want to do more every year. I want to help more every year. I want to be bolder. I want to be better. I want to be stronger every single year. Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year. When you get content, when you settle, somebody's chasing you, somebody's coming from behind, and somebody's trying to take your spot. And so every single day when you wake up, you got to set new goals, new benchmarks. You got to raise it higher and higher and higher so you can make your dreams become a reality. A true hunter, watch me. A true hunter is wired differently. He's wired differently. Doesn't have the same makeup. Listen to me. What makes a gazelle is how he's wired. What makes a lion a lion? Okay, let me explain to you. When a lion sees a gazelle and the gazelle sees the lion, both beasts see each other at the exact same time. When the gazelle sees the lion because of how he's wired, he automatically fear takes over. When the lion sees the gazelle, he lights up. It's showtime. The hunt is on. This is what I was made for.
Do the work. Do the fucking work.
A lot of people say, "Oh, I just want to sort of." They're kind of dabbling in the idea of improving themselves. And the real way to do it is you got to write down what the fuck you want and then go after it. If you decide I'm going to get down to bang, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run a marathon in less than 5 hours. I'm going to, whatever the fuck it is, you got to write that shit down and go for it. Well, my workout I schedule every Sunday. I schedule everything that I'm going to do during the week. I say I have to do yoga 2 times this week. I have to lift weights 3 times this week. I have to run twice this week. And however I fit that in, I fit that in. But I owe those things. And you don't need 2.5 hours. You can get a great workout in 40 minutes. And that's all you need for the whole day. 100%. Do everything that I can to put my body and my brain in a good place so that I'm keeping my engine smooth. I'm changing my oil. I'm changing my spark plugs. I'm making sure that it's operating. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I know that I've done my best to keep it working the best that it can. There's consequences that you pay to constantly seeking comfort and avoiding discomfort and avoiding hard work. And those consequences are you're never going to feel self-realized. You're never going to feel like you accomplished anything. You're never going to have this feeling of understanding that difficulty and struggle and the ability to push through that is a muscle. And you develop that muscle by doing it. And once you do, you develop a lot of self-satisfaction and you develop peace of mind and you You understand that you can overcome obstacles. If you don't have to overcome obstacles, you never know whether or not you can. Unless you are faced with actual adversity, you don't understand how you're going to feel and how you're going to react when you overcome that adversity. Things that are difficult, when you do these difficult things, you're stressing your mind, or I should say, not even stressing your mind, exercising your mind and exercising your body's ability to manage intense situations. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's very testing. And in doing so, you lessen the stress of regular life. The more stressful situations that I experience, the more I understand what they are and the more I can relax. But it's also like a matter of constantly being exposed to these stressful situations where there's not a long break in between doing stand-up or a long break in between martial arts training where to the point where anxiety can build up, and then once you get into it, it's almost an unusual situation instead of a usual one. What I tell people is the best advice that I've ever heard, the best advice I ever came up with, is that live your life like you're the hero in your movie. And right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster. Pretend you are, right now, you are in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser. And just decide not to be a loser anymore. Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad motherfucker. He really did what he had to do. Wow, my mom really got her shit together. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who fucks his life up and then gets it back together again story. Those are my favorite stories. And the way to do that, you gotta write shit down. You gotta think that you are the hero in your own fucking movie, and then you gotta sit down and you gotta write shit down. Write down what you need to do.
I was never the most talented, never the flashiest. I relied on grit. Other players might have been more talented, but I can assure you, no one was going to outwork me. The secret is in the dirt. I learned early on in my life, through many challenges, that I could change my circumstances with hard work.
You can't outreal me. You can't outwant me. You can't outwork me.
No one will outwork me. No one.
I will not be outworked. Right. Period. Yeah. You know, you might have more talent than me. You might be smarter than me. You might be sexier than me. You might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories.
The sheer concentration that is required to pursue a dream, you see, it's not for everyone. But it was for me. I yearned for the daily grind, and I couldn't get enough of it.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
Work. That's how you get it. The work pays. Hard work pays, and I put in the work, and that's why I'm sitting at the top. I put it all on the line. I show up. I perform, and I get the results from that.
That ability to get myself up in the morning, no matter how tired I was, to push myself through those pain barriers.
The bridge between reality and a dream is work. A focus on the work. I show up and I work and I work and I work and I work.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes up,
all you can do is all you can do. There ain't nothing more than all you can do. That is the absolute maximum. You can't do no more than all you can do. You understand that? All you can do is all you can do. All you can do is everything. That's the absolute ultimate. Right? Is all you can do is all you can do. But all you can is enough.
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others. You can control those variables. You can't control how lucky you are, although the more you work, the luckier you get. You have no influence on the intellectual capabilities that God did or did not give you, but you can work as hard as possible. You can be scrupulously honest so that people respect you, and you can get along with others because nobody does anything by themselves.
Did you have to pay a price, though? You personally?
Well, I think that everything is an either or. There is a price in everything. You can study or you can go out and play. You can defer to others or you can try to hog the credit. You can be honest and suffer the consequences, or you can lie, cheat, and steal, and short term, maybe even advance. But long term, you are better off if you work harder, you are better off if you're honest, and you are better off if you give others credit and get them to help you by helping them.
What makes life powerful and meaningful and substantive is the expiration date.
You do what you love doing and you do it well, then everything should sort of fall into place.
If we were to live forever, we could be slothful and lazy and indifferent because we'd have forever to get it straight. But the fact that the clock is ticking puts a sense of urgency on each and every one of us. And I know you're saying, well, I'm 20, I don't need to hear. Yeah, you do. You need to hear that because you won't be 20 long.
So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
In a few months, you'll be 21 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and it's ticking on everybody. Procrastination then becomes an enemy because we cannot afford to procrastinate with a time that we do not have. Most of us right now are looking at where we are with a certain degree of disdain, expecting to have gone further than where we are by now. We look back and wonder, was I really a good steward of the time that God gave me?
Imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talent.
A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online so any small business can make a change. We need a new generation of thinking, your way of thinking. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
Talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used your talent. You never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes. They came to you. And only you could have put that life.
The truth of the matter is, no matter how productive you are, all of us have been guilty of wasting days and wasting time and sometimes wasting opportunities along the way. In fact, what makes you start to get wiser as you get older is that as the sands begin to fall more rapidly and you begin to recognize that you're running out of time, you begin to mark certain things off of your list. I'm not going to let that worry me. I'm not going to let that worry me. This was not important. I'm not going to do that stupid thing again. I don't have time to make that mistake. I've got to redeem the time. I got to make it count. I cannot mess this up my time becomes more valuable, the more it becomes limited.
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive.
Death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
What makes life powerful and meaningful and substantive is the expiration date.
Take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender and defeat. And you need to train that instinct. Your instinct. Train it to say, get up, go, fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. That's why everybody raised their hands when I first asked, have everybody ever been through pain? Because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt it, you got it. First time you felt, it's burning. First time you felt that, it's too much. We rationalize
greater purpose. That if you can find a way to push through, that if you can find a way to not make it about you, learn to appreciate the occasional storms that come in your life. Just learn to appreciate how small they are, the occasional storms that come every day. And then that's the ingredient of how you really deal with pain, figuring that out. Stop crying.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are going to leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. Because every time you break, every way that you break, wow, there's a chance, there's definitely a chance for you to give up, or for you to fall apart. But there's when you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. So if you break, if you break, isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
When I was in high school, I early on, about 16 years old, I decided I want to become president of the United States because I thought, how can I contribute the most to society? And I went to a seminar by a man named Jim Rohn. He's still a seminar speaker. And I took a week's pay. I was working $40 a week as a janitor. And it was $35 for the evening seminar. So it was a big decision. And I listened to him speak, and I came out so inspired because most of what he said I already believed. Now as an authority figure saying you really can be this way.
Why pay the price? Why work this hard?
Oh my God, I'm talking this whole
Why
time.
go this far?
And my mic was
Why
muted.
try to learn this much?
I was talking this whole
Why try
time.
to do it all?
And my mic
Why
was
try to
muted.
see it all? Why try to have it all?
I was talking about how this is
Why do it?
This is not coincidence.
Why learn
That
it?
I stop at 45,000.
Why study? Why put yourself out? Why try to take on this much responsibility?
Very weird. But I already told you, as I said earlier, it looked like it was going to bounce off of the blueberry.
Why try to
Come and
become
test that
all
blueberry.
that you can possibly become? Why try to earn as much as you can earn, share as much as you can share, develop every skill you possibly can, see every human you possibly can?
And I forgot to have my entry at 45.
Touch everybody
I was going to put my entry at 45 or 46.
Why do that much? Why go that far? Why share that much? Why give that much away? Why try to see everything? Why try to do everything? Why try to become everything? That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. You've got to have your own list of why. Work on your list of why.
Gee, you don't want the TDS show already.
If the why is powerful, the how is easy.
If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want,
Shark
dogged and
fan,
grim, you beseech and beset it.
USD
With the
chef.
help of God, you'll get it.
But if the why isn't strong, if your
That's
goals
crazy. I don't even have.
If the vision isn't clear, the old
I don't even
prophet said,
have
without a
USD
vision
chef
we
up
die,
here.
without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing.
And because he spoke, how people live their lives as a result of the story they believe.
Where the hell do I have
themselves.
USD
He
chef?
interrupted the story that I believed about myself.
Hold on. Shark fan, USD chef.
Work on your
Yeah, pass
list
it.
of why.
Make no small plans,
Okay.
for they have no magic to stir men's blood.
This might turn into a sub pretty quick. Let me check the 15 minutes.
I'm gonna do this shit until they throw fucking dirt on top of my ass. Until they bury me.
Pain is temporary.
Yep.
It may last for a minute, or an hour,
USD
or a
chef.
day, or
I'm
even a
going to
year.
force out on USD chef.
But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort.
Interesting how she.
It's called glory.
USD
It's
chef
called if you
looks
can find
like
a way
GA.
to push through pain. There's something greater on the other side of it.
I'm going to prove to you that I can come back, that I will come back, because I got this motherfucker right here. I am determined. It's my motherfucking magnificent obsession. But let me tell you, when they split me open and I passed away 3 times from there, you talk about broad, damn. God damn. But this thing that we do was my motherfucking magnificent obsession. I was obsessed with this shit. I'm gonna do this shit until they throw fucking dirt on top of my ass, until they bury me.
The greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill, right? I will not be outworked, right? Period.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Not one of you can outwill me. You may have been born with more genetic prowess than I have, but you cannot out-determine me. You can't outwill me. You can't outwant me. You can't outwork me. You can't out-desire me.
No one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys. Motherfuckers won't outwork me.
I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy.
You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes out, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do.
If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you.
This top spot, this number 1, that's mine.
Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. You will not quit. You will keep going. You may lose, but you will not stop. You will not quit. You will keep going.
I'm not gonna let this opportunity go by without giving it my all.
You got to get up and make it happen.
Don't fuck the opportunity up.
If you want to be the best, if you want to reach the pinnacle, you must be, you have to be obsessed with obtaining that. Greatness in any field, greatness cannot be achieved without obsession.
Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature. minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. Ain't no man in here okay with being just basic.
You made a choice to be average. Why? Because the people around you are at you an average school, or you work for an average company, and so you decided to go against who you are.
Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
There's a great feeling in these overcoming these difficult things, because life is never this just constant state of I'm at a 9 all day, and when I'm with my wife I hit 10, yay, and I stay like that. That's not real.
Interesting.
It all comes from life lessons, and the lessons are learned through struggle. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that think somehow or another you're going to get to some place where you're living in silk sheets and you're getting your toes done while someone's dropping grapes into your mouth. I don't want that. I've never wanted that. That guy's not going to be happy. You have been fed this line of horseshit that you're supposed to seek comfort. And I don't think you are. I think you're supposed to seek lessons, and you're supposed to seek difficult tasks and accomplishments, and through those things and through doing things that are hard to do. Because if I just think, well, tomorrow I'm just going to coast and eat Twinkies and watch TV. Oh, hello, sadness, my old friend. Hello, depression. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Little improvements, I think, are what life is all about. And I think also they're a tool to feed the mind. Because I really believe the mind needs these little lessons. The mind needs these little tasks. Stimulation and reward, lack of these peaks and valleys, and this bullshit idea that we're constantly fed that you should be comfortable. Those human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA, and if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, love, family, friendship, struggle, testing yourself, learning, all those things are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person. Little improvements over things. That's why doing difficult things is good.
Here's what I want you to look at. There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win. And all they need is some coaching. All they need is some help and assistance, just a little support. All they need is some insight or different strategy or plan of action to make some adjustments that will open up the key to a whole new future for them, that will give them access to the unlimited power that they have within themselves. That's all that they need. So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you. That's real for you. That's important for you. That will give your life some special meaning and power. And I don't even want you to say, I can do that. I don't want you to assume that. See, 5 years ago when I started out in this area, I would not have been able to make the mental leap that I would be up to where I am right now. I don't want you to begin to just psych yourself out. No. I want you to be able to say something to yourself that will enable you to maintain a level of integrity with yourself. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. So what is that something? When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education, you might not have the support or the resources you need. What is that something that can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream? What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? Say, it's possible. That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible.
It's possible.
Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible.
It's possible.
Because what does that do? See, it begins to change your belief system. See, the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, it's a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life. Most people operate out of their personal history, out of their memory, things they have done, things they've experienced, things they've seen, things that they have observed. What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whatever you look at where you want to go, I'm wanting to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation. Well, most people, ladies and gentlemen, when something happens to them, what they do is they begin to believe that that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. And they can't see the possibility of it being any different. Example, before April 1954, the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That was the belief on the planet. It had never been done. But here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Bannister came along. And he broke the 4-minute barrier. Now here's what's significant about that. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. What changed? 20,000 people, what changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done. And because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier, about this goal that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in the race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they did it, then I'm saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, the things can get better for me. It's possible.
You take that challenge when you answer the call and you see the other side of pain. It's called glory. This is called glory. There's somebody sitting home right now. There's a young 10-year-old kid sitting home that don't have a father. And he's ready to join the gang. He's ready to give up. I'm telling you, don't give in. And don't ever give up.
I went to bed last night. Had all these ideas about how you're going to get up this morning. It's going to be different. Things are going to be different. Today you're going to start taking steps towards doing some of those projects that you know will get you closer to living that dream life you keep playing over and over in your head. Different from the practical life that you got to get up and meet every day. To go to the cubicle-infested world and work a job just to pay the bills. Put gas in the gas tank to take you places where you don't really want to go, to be around people you don't enjoy being around. Put groceries in a refrigerator. Groceries that keep you fat and lazy, keep you away from being healthy and fit in your life.
What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game?
Pay the mortgage on a house that doesn't inspire you. It's just a nuisance and you hate coming home.
AUD.
What the fuck are you doing?
USD.
And you know what makes it even worse? Is that you're a coward. Before you got from the bedroom to the kitchen, Mr. Ugly was there. Mr. Resistance. Right in your ass. Telling you what you were going to do different than what you want to do and what the inner voice inside of you tells you you need to do with your life. Telling you that those things that you believe matter and have a purpose in your life really don't. That the silly, the superficial, the stupid does.
There are those of you right now, you should have cut a CD. You should have wrote a book. You should have got in school and got that degree. You should have started your own business. There's so many things you should have done. You should have done, but you didn't do it because you're scared. You believe that you said scared of what? I ain't scared. You are scared. You are scared. You're scared of failure. You're scared to make a mistake. You're scared that you're not perfect. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game?
Are you a gazelle or are you a lion?
Mr. Resistance will be there every morning. Morning, noon, and night. And while you are sleeping, right in your ass, kicking your ass. Unless you turn around and you start throwing punches.
What's your purpose for playing this game? Why are you doing what you're doing? And when you know why you're doing what you're doing, you saw my t-shirt, no alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, no clock. I ain't used the clock in 20 years. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game?
Are you a gazelle or are you a lion?
And I'm telling you today, you ain't gotta be perfect. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect to get what you want, to do what you want, to have what you want, to be what you want. You don't have to be perfect. It's a lie.
Everybody can serve. Anyone can be the leader.
Let's see what
You don't have to be perfect, but what you have to do is perfect the day. That's what I want you to do. You'll never be perfect. As long as you're alive, there's always progress. You can always get better. But listen to me. I want you to practice perfecting the 24 hours. You hear me? 60 minutes in a day. 1,440 seconds. That's what I want you to concentrate on. I want you to concentrate on the now.
And you know what makes it even worse? Is that you're a coward.
When I wake up in the morning and I'm working on my speech, when I get up in the morning and I'm answering a phone call, when I get up in the morning, listen to me very closely, and I'm writing down every idea I dreamed about, every movie. I can't even watch a movie now. I can't even listen to music without writing something down. I get my iPod and I'm writing everything down. It's right here, everything. So guess what? Guess what? Every week I read, every time I practice it, every book I read, everything I do to make me better. I'm telling you, if you fall in love with small, if you fall in love with every second, every minute, every hour of the day, and you stop thinking about 2012, you stop thinking about 2013, and you focus on the now. You master the now. You become an expert of the now. I'm guaranteeing you, you're going to blow up. I need you to stop trying to do it big. I need you to fall in love with small, and guess what? Big gonna be attracted to you.